All right, I finally got to the point where it's not really loosening it up. I'm going to come off a half a side. About that much. Come off a little bit more. Yeah, that's a lot freer. It's a lot freer. Okay. I think that's where I want to set her. Right there. That's where I'm going to put her. Now, you know I'm going to drive her for 10 or 15 miles and then go back and readjust that again. You know I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and safety wire that up so that nut can't spin. And we'll get the brakes on here and finish this side up. Well, guys, I don't have any choice but to reuse that cotter pin another time. Because I have to. That's all I got. So I'm gonna use this cotter pin one more time just to test drive the truck, and then I'll drive it about 10-15 miles, go back to the auto parts store, get a couple more, buy an assortment actually, and then pull these caps off and put 2 new cotter pins in. Make sure everything's good to go and kosher. But at least for now I can test drive it. That nut can't back off with that there like that. So cotter pin's just not real trustworthy after it's already been bent a couple times, you know. That could fracture. That could fracture and come off and leave me real disappointed at some point. I'm not even going to pull that old grease out. It's clean, it's just old. I'm just going to leave it in there. Tap it back on. Okay. Alright, we'll get a couple new cotter pins for that. We'll readjust it a second time. Undoubtedly it'll loosen up, I'm sure. We'll be good to go. Okay, here's the new pads. Let's see if they're all the same. Sometimes you get inners and outers. And, yep, that's exactly what we got. Okay, so these are going to be your outers, and these are going to hang on the inside of the pin like that and be your inners. So they're going to go basically something like that. Got my piston all the way C-clamp retracted in. This goes like this. This goes like that. Make sure these pads can float on that caliper sideways like this, guys. See what I'm doing there? Make sure that can happen, because if these pads can't move on that caliper, all it's going to happen is they're going to bind up later. These in there like that. Okay, these little movable pins right here, they got to get pressed and moved back also, because they work their way over on the caliper. If you don't press them back that way, you're stuck. You can make fun of me if you want. You can complain about grease getting down into brake pads if you want, but I like to grease these threads. They're not coming out if you torque them, guys. They're not coming out. Some guys anti-seize them. You know, yeah, you could get a little grease down on your brake pad. Boo-hoo, you ain't, you know, what are you doing? I mean, what do you think, you're IndyCar racing or something? Driving a street car, you know? A little bit of grease gets on there. Next time you drive in the rain, it's going to come out. So I like to loop those pins up, because if this stuff gets stuck, if it gets locked down with rust and stuck, it doesn't work right, guys. It's got to be free. This part's got to move. Yeah. This bottom little retractor dowel is still fighting me. All right. I think I got them lined up now. It's a bugbear. As soon as you get to where you think you're started, you can't reach nothing. See, in the motorcycle world, we put our pads on first, on the caliper, and then we slide the caliper onto the frame and bolt it down. You don't have to do all this. Motorcycle calipers are much easier than cars and old rusty trucks, that's for sure. Okay. Alright. Alright, I got the front pin holding the front of the pad in. And now if I can tap the back in while holding the back of the pad, we're good. That kind of sort of looks and feels fairly good. See if I can get this back pin started all the way into the caliper itself. Yep, there it goes. Back pin started. Let's see if we can get the front. Show you where you gotta be here. So you come across that. So you come across that side through the carrier bracket into the bracket, then you got to hold the inside pad up. See, that inside pad is being held by the pin. Then you got to get through the back pad, then you got to get spun across into this side of the caliper. So it's got to go through everything like a sandwich. That's why you can't just put the pads on first and then put it on the car like a motorcycle. You can't, because you gotta have everything lined up on the vehicle. Okay, I think we're started. Yep, here we go. Okay, give that a gentle squeeze. Give that one a gentle squeeze. Make sure we can still spin our rotor. Yep, okay. Torque this pretty good. Torque this pretty good. Okay, those pins are not coming out of there, and those pads are all good to go. So we're done this side. I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm running out of daylight. I'm going to shut the camera off and do the other side exactly the same way. Then I'm going to drive the vehicle to the auto parts store, buy an assortment of cotter pins to guarantee I get the right size, and then I'll just keep the extras in the garage. Then I'll drive back. That's about 4 or 5 to 6, 8 miles, I'm guessing, and then I'll pop these caps and redo those cotter pins and retorque those nuts. All right, guys.